I believe trust is at the core of private banking activities since a long time ago. And it is true that finding the right balance between the trust that can be created by the advisor interacting with the client and the technology to serve the client himself and the wealth manager is important. Today, automation and all the technologies that has been developed over the past years are here to free time for the advisor so that he can really allocate more valuable time to real interaction and high value interaction with their clients. And automation is here to support all the admin tasks, compliance tasks, everything that is really time consuming and which can be really supported by existing technologies. It's important as well, probably since we are moving towards more and more in brackets self-service platforms, at least for the, maybe not for pure high net worth individual, but if a private bank is serving as well mass affluent or affluent segment, then naturally there will be more time dedicated by the RMs to high value interaction with the client and more time served by the platforms. So it's difficult to find the right balance, and no doubt that in the future there will be more and more platforms able to deliver more added value services in an automated way through digital banking platforms and advisory platforms as well. So it's an ongoing journey between the old times where 100% of the relationship was human-based, and the future where probably a significant part of the advisory job will be done by systems and platforms. I believe this will never happen, at least for the high net worth individuals. We are not talking about robo-advisors for really mass affluent, but in the private banking industry, what we call in Switzerland the private banking industry, I believe the role of the advisor will remain central, but it will be assisted or augmented or co-piloted by platforms that will generate investment proposal based on facts, based on market insights, that even an RM could not digest in the time he has available to serve the client. Definitely, the advisor himself, and also it's very important that those technologies can offer also high level of personalization, taking into account the customer profile, the appetite for risk, the history of investment, what was right, what was wrong, giving also the client the feedback from his past history. So we are in a constant evolution in terms of capabilities of this platform. But again, the role of the RM will remain central, I strongly believe, at least for the next 10 years. Then, with the rise of AI and generative AI, what will happen is very difficult to predict, but what we can see with just maybe 1 year of feedback and the capabilities that we can develop, no doubt that this will strongly impact the way RMs and the clients will interact in the future. Well, there are different ways to address that question. Number one, the products are becoming more sophisticated. There are a number of new asset classes available, being EFT, tokenization of assets, cryptocurrency or crypto assets, and this kind of broadening the service offering will require as well the RMs to be more and more knowledgeable. And the reality is that the client themselves and the new generation of clients as well are more and more knowledgeable, and they know much more than the previous one. And therefore, probably pretending that an RM can only deliver the top class services by himself only is an illusion, because the level of requirement of these new investors, and mainly the new investors, so the Gen X, etc., the millennials that will come, will be extremely high demanding investors and will require as well a high level of service in terms of recommendation and advisory services. So technology is here to help, and I think the same technology could help both the advisor and the client at the same time. We could easily think about, and I've seen that already, when the advisor and the client are sitting together in front of a platform that are, giving advice, explaining the performance, why did this asset class overperform the market, etc. And they are, interacting with one platform that could be a self-service platform for the client, but also a tool to help the RM to deliver his job. Oh yes, and I think we have many such examples, even in Switzerland, where the technology might not be the most advanced, because we see that some of the countries they have more appetite for digitized platform to serve the high net worth individuals. But as we've seen, Swiss banks are fast followers in terms of adoption of those new technologies. But clearly, RMs, what they want is performing well with the client, and joining a bank who is able to offer the best-in-class tools for the RMs and finally, ultimately, for the client is definitely a reason for a relationship manager to join this bank and not another one. And probably listening to RMs complaining every day about the quality of the platform is certainly not something that most of the banks would like to do. But the reality is that there are plenty of banks that have very fairly poor platforms to offer to their RMs to perform their job. And technology will play a significant role in the future to attract the talent and the right one, and therefore asset under management, because at the end of the day, when an RM is joining a bank, usually it comes with some hundred millions of AUM together with him. Well, wealth managers, one of the major issues is also the level of investments which are required to address these technology challenges. Delivering state-of-the-art platforms, innovative platforms, integrating new technologies such as analytics and analyzing portfolio performance based on facts and figures. This requires a lot of investment. So I think one of the major constraints as well, and maybe this is the case for small banks, is the level of budget that they need to allocate to find. And this is why certainly a lot of small to medium-sized banks need to buy solutions from the market instead of willing to buy to build that technology themselves. The giants, they have almost unlimited budgets to do that, but it's not the case of a large number of medium-sized private banks who need to select the right partners to address those issues. So I think that's one of the most. Second, of course, those technologies must really be in line with the market requirements and what the clients are willing. And a technology which is fit for purpose today might not fit for purpose in 3 years' time, because the market is evolving relatively fast. So I think the challenge is mainly in that area. Well, I strongly believe that data is the key, and banks are usually data powerhouses. They have tons of data. The big question is how to use them in the most efficient way. Until recently, we had a lot of systems able to analyze data, to draw trends and understand the behavior, a certain number of things. But I think the level of use of that mass of data was rather limited. Certainly AI and Gen AI is one trend, but there's a lot of different other technologies available. Will certainly help in having predictive models that can derive from existing behavior and find patterns, etc., etc. I'm not a specialist in that area. I'm not a data scientist, but for sure data is considered to be the biggest asset of banks, and knowledge of the client, understanding, the behavior of the client, mainly for, in a mass affluence segment, because here you can't have someone analyzing the behavior of every single client. You need systems for that, you need machines for that, and the data is absolutely the oil of this industry. It's not the real question. It's a fact that new generation trust technology probably even more than personal interaction, or at least at the same level. While all the generations, they didn't really trust technology. They only trust really personal relationships. So we see a clear shift, and I believe that the new generation will certainly favor more online interaction with a platform, which naturally has to demonstrate its value and performance, etc. Of course, because when we're talking about wealth management, it's about preserving wealth and generating the right return, paying the right fees, etc. But I strongly believe, and this is what we see in any other sector, in the entertainment industry, in the travel industry. The trust towards digital platforms, and there is absolutely no doubt that in the future the level of interaction via digital platform will be much higher in volume than the interaction via advisor. Again, for the private banking, high net worth individual segment, the role of the RM, I believe, will remain central, but largely aided by digital platform. But for new generation, the shift will certainly move towards digital platform. Maybe not only, but largely. Well, it has a strong impact, of course, because we have to invest heavily in those technologies. We have to ensure that those technologies are flexible enough to serve the different type of clients we have. And when I say clients, I'm talking about banks. And, those technology must remain available in the future. So, and we know that the life cycle of those technologies are shorter and shorter. So the model that we have to put in place must be flexible enough to evolve continuously. So it's a continuous iteration to find the right solution and to deliver the right solution to the client, keeping in mind that the level of personalization must be really high for those clients, because every bank has a different way of serving the client, although they are doing the same business, but they want to differentiate, which is normal. And the client themselves are requiring that level of personalization at the individual level, because they want to feel that they are served by platform or systems that understand really who they are and what they want and what are their objectives. Customer experience is not just about a nice looking web app or app on a mobile to interact with the bank. A bank has many different systems. They have core systems, they have a certain number of satellite systems, they have front-end systems, and all those platforms must be in perfect synchronization, must be perfectly orchestrated. Because if you enter into a relation, it's nice, it's done in a minute, and you can open an account in 10 minutes. And when you place the first order, if the execution is done in 2 weeks, I mean, you're done. I mean, the relationship is broken. So every single step of every single process in the bank must be perfectly orchestrated, must be fluent, frictionless, to offer a real experience. Because customer experience is not just about onboarding, it's during the entire life cycle, from the client opening process until the end of the relationship, which is will happen anyway from time to time. So it's important to think about the client experience as a holistic approach, integrating all the systems, and that's a big challenge for banks, specifically the ones that have a complex setup, that have many different systems in place, because orchestrating different systems with different technologies in a perfect way is quite a challenge.